So in this free training, I'm going to share with you my simple 4-stage framework that you can use to get more customers, more clients, or more team members in Messenger, so in chat or Messenger or direct messages. This is the exact same process that I've used over many years to enroll over 1,000 people into multiple different opportunities. And it's a simple process once you understand it and once you've got the formula. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you in today's training. So the problem that you might be facing right now is you're having conversations with people in Messenger or in chat, but more than likely, if you're like most people, you don't really know what to say. You say a few things. It's like, "Hey, how you doing? What business are you in? What have you been up to this week?" But the conversation doesn't really go anywhere. You probably don't really know a process to lead people. And it's like, well, what do I say to them? When do I say it? How do I say it? And how do you transition to get people interested in your business or your product or your service in the first place? It's almost like going from a regular chat to transitioning to actually inviting somebody to take a look at what you do or even getting them to buy what you do. Messenger and chat is so powerful for converting people, because if you're just posting content and you're hoping that people are going to come to you, they are not. They might do later, but you have to be very good at marketing to do that. So you have to go out there and use what we call active prospecting. And that means you're going out there, you're connecting with people, you're making friends, you're building your audience, and you're building that trust factor with people so they can see that you're a real person. With AI and with bots at the moment, people are craving authenticity. They're craving real connection. They're craving personal attention. And when you get into Messenger and into chat, it kind of takes away those boundaries. Or when you get on the phone or on Zoom, again, it completely demolishes those boundaries. So the personal connecting, the networking, which obviously Networking Superstars is all about, is absolutely key. But if you're having conversations with people in Messenger, but you don't really know how to transition, you don't really know what to do next, you don't really know how to invite people, you don't really know what to say to people, then this process will help you with that. As I said, we can go into a lot more detail about this, and there's a lot to this process. But once you get the 4-stage framework and process in place, it's going to make things a lot easier. So, one really important thing to be aware of is that you have to be talking to the right people in the first place. If you're talking to random people and you're asking random questions, then you don't really have a process. So, if you don't know who your target audience is, and if the people that you're talking to or the person you're talking to, your product, service, or opportunity isn't relevant to, it doesn't matter what you say. You cannot say the right thing to the wrong person, and you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. So you have to first identify your audience, and we talk about that all the time. Who is your perfect people? Where do they hang out? Who are they? Once you know that, then it's going to make things a lot easier, because when you're talking to the person who that they've got some pains, problems, and challenges that your product, service, or opportunity can solve, then it becomes so much easier. Again, another problem and challenge is when you're talking to lots of random people about random things and you're just saying random questions, there's no linear process to it. So you have to identify your perfect people first. Once you've done that, then the first step or the first stage of the 4-stage process is connecting with the person. So the whole process is called the C.A.S.S method. So connect, ask, solve, sell. And again, it's a very linear process, but you have to understand that people are people. You're talking to real people. So you've got to build a relationship with those people. You don't want to be that person that just goes out there and spams your links or says, "Hey, come and join my opportunity," or "Hey, come and buy my product," or "This is amazing," or "Look at this." You do not want to be that person. Ultimately, what you want to do is build a relationship for life. And you do that by treating people with respect. You do that by being there, becoming that trusted advisor. So the first part of the process is the connection. Connect. Now, when you're connecting with somebody, it really is pretty simple. Whether you're going out there and you're making friends with them and you're sending them a first message, or whether they're coming to you and they're connecting with you, that's all you've got to do. the first part, the connection, is easy, but you have to do it in such a way that helps them know that you're not trying to just sell something for the sake of it, that you are interested in them. So for me, I would connect with somebody. I would go to their profile first and I'd have a look. Who are they? Are they somebody that I'd like to connect with? Are they somebody that I resonate with? Because I'm not just trying to find random people. I'm not just trying to find anybody to join my business or to buy my products. You're trying to find people that are going to be right, that are going to build a significant business or buy your products and services and be a long-term customer. So the connection is key. But where you find the people from in the first place is also essential. So make sure you're in the right places, you're finding the right people, you're connecting with that person. The connection should actually open up the conversation where it causes the other person to answer a specific question that you've got. So if you ask a question in Messenger, that person's then going to come back with a response. Okay, so you want to ask the first question. I often just say, great to meet you. I saw your profile and I saw that you were this person, or I was interested in this topic, or I loved what you did. I loved your reel that you posted the other day, or I saw your story and it really got me interested, or got me passionate, or got me excited. And then I'll say something else, and then I often say, just out of interest, whereabouts in the world do you live? Or just out of interest, are you involved in network marketing? Or just out of interest, are you in this group? So I'm opening up the conversation. Now, again, I'm being very, very basic right now. So the second part in the process is to ask. You have to ask the right questions to uncover their pains, problems, and challenges. So if you think of your product, your service, or your opportunity, again, depending on what it is that you're selling, as a solution to somebody's pains, problems, and challenges, the only reason we buy stuff online is to solve a problem, usually. So if we're looking for something and there's a problem, there's something that we need to solve, we're going to go out and we're going to search for it. We're going to look for it. Obviously, we're not doing that this way. We are having conversations with people in Messenger, but we have identified the people in the first place, where they hang out. We've connected with them. We've built the relationship. And now we're going to ask a few questions. 3 questions is usually enough. For me, who's looking for business builders to join an opportunity, my very first question is usually, depending on where I find them, is, whereabouts in the world do you live? That's a pretty basic question. It doesn't really help me in any way, but it does get a response. The second part is the ask. So now I normally say, oh, just out of interest, what kind of business are you building at the moment? Or are you building online or offline right now? And usually I get a response back to that. And then I'd say something like, are you struggling with generating leads, or is it converting leads into sales and signups? Again, something like that. And I'm usually getting a response. And what I want to know is, I'm looking to find out if they're going to admit to having a problem, to struggling with something. Because I know that when somebody admits to struggling or having some kind of problem, that I can actually help them, because I've got I can point them to various resources. I can point them to my coaching program and my trainings. I could point them to other people. But firstly, I've got to know, have they got a problem when it comes to building their business online? Because that's what I do. Now, obviously, you can use this in any industry, in any niche. And another day and in another training, I'll give you some different examples for different industries. But you're asking those questions. So if they come back to me and they say, oh, Gavin, I've been doing this for months, or even years, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Why is it not working for me? I've now I'm in, essentially. I know that I can help the person. They've admitted to a problem. I know what their problem is. And I've asked, 2, 3, could be 4, could be 5 questions, but I'm really trying to build a bit of rapport here. It's not an interrogation. Again, there's a specific process where you give a positive acknowledgement first in the message, and then you ask a question at the end. So if they came back to me and said, oh, Gavin, I'm really struggling to generate leads, I'd go back and say, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I totally understand what you mean. There's hundreds of thousands of people that are building a business online, and I know that they're struggling as well. That's my positive acknowledgement first. Next is my tag question. So then I would ask another question to move the conversation forward. So that's the ask part of the process. And this is really where you're discovering what it is that they're looking for, what it is that they need help with. This is the discovery part. If you went to a doctor's or the hospital or a consultant, and you've got something wrong with you, the first thing they do is they sit you down and they ask you some questions. When did it happen? What's wrong? Where does it hurt? What have you tried? What have you done? How long has it been happening for? And they're making notes as they go through so they can provide you with a solution at the end of it. Again, really, really powerful. So you have to become like a consultant, like a trusted advisor that can point people in the right direction. So that's the connect and the ask. Now, the solve part of the process is where you aim to solve a small part of their problem with some free information, or you aim to solve the symptom of their problem with some free information. So for me, I know that people are looking to build a business. They're looking for more time freedom. They're looking to make an income. They're looking to spend more time with their family and do the things that they love to do. So that's kind of the big vision, the big dream. The getting the leads is, I know, that is just really, it's a symptom of the problem. It's not really the end goal. It's not really the end problem that they want solving. They want to find out how to quit their jobs so they can spend more time with their family and do the things that they love. So if I can help solve a small part of the problem, which is how to generate leads with something for free, it could be a free resource that I've created myself, like a 10-page guide or an ebook, or it could be a 10-minute video or something like that, or even a 5-minute video. It doesn't need to be long. It could be somebody else's free video or free training or webinar. But the aim of that free content is to give them something to pique their interest, to create some kind of transformation that makes them go, wow, that was amazing. And this is why, if it's yours in the first place, even better. Um, if you're sending people somewhere else, then obviously the credibility goes to the other person. But if somebody's coming to you and they read a 10-page guide that you've created that helps them with a little bit of a transformation, and they go, "Oh wow, that makes sense. I wish I'd thought of that before." That's you solving a small part of their problem. And that is really where somebody's now interested. They know that you can help them. You've pointed them to something that can help them. You've identified their problem in the ask part of the process. Now it's a case of you sell them the solution, which is the full solution. For me, it's my coaching, my training program, our Networking Superstars Academy that goes into the whole detail of solving the big problem. So at the end of, let's just say, at the end of the first 90 days, somebody has built their audience by 500 people. They've generated 300 leads. They've made between 6 and 10 sales, or generated between 6 and 10 customers. And they've got a simple social media sales system that they can repeat over and over again that works predictably. That is the answer to the problem, the big problem that they've been looking for. So, this is really powerful stuff. And you've just got to think, okay, connect, ask, solve, and sell. Okay, so really dive in and have a think how you can implement this yourself. As I said before, if you've got questions, if you're unsure about this process or any of this, feel free to reach out to me or leave a comment underneath this post if you're watching this on the live. And yeah, go and implement it.